Terry Gale. I'm the owner of Rambler Ranch. I have been doing this for 33 years. My goal is to have basically the entire history of Nash, Rambler, and American Motors. I'd love to have a car from every year, and I'm 8 cars away from that. And also show all the other things that the company's involved in, like Covenant Appliances, Wheelhorse Garden Tractors, and AM General. The car that I'm standing by, it was the car that started all this. This is my father's 1954 Ambassador that he bought when I was 10 years old at the dealership he worked at for $50. After my father passed away, the car sat at the farm for 18 years, and my brother called me one day and asked me if I wanted to going to haul the junkyard. So I decided to save it, and that's what started all of this passion for these. And once I discovered that no one else has done this, I thought, well, here's something I can do that no one else in the world has done. So the largest collection of Nash, Rambler, and AMCs anywhere. And I drove my father's car to Pennsylvania. Air conditioning still works. No problems all the way there and back. Many of these cars I've driven on trips or flown out and driven them home. One time we took 110 cars to a car show, volunteers to drive. That was quite an undertaking to do that.
So other than your dad's car, what's your favorite car on the ranch?
Well, because I have a favorite, I have my crown jewels. I have my prototype. That on my dad's car, my tow truck. The 38 Ambassador Fur, is that the only one that's left? My Healy, I have several in this building. And then I've got my Marquesa up in the AMC building. That's one of my favorites up there. And my Matador with 101 miles on it.
Wow.
And I've got the Eagle with 50 miles on it, and the Jeep Limo. A local company made 12 of these for an Aspen limo company.
Oh.
And that's my second one. And I've got those Aspen gondolas up there. A friend bought those years ago and gave them to me. So we're going to move the Jeep over 1 mile and put those gondolas from the ceiling hanging over the limo now, put mannequins and skis and all that kind of stuff. So
Cool.
What's your current number? How many cars do you have?
well, I had to count last September, and there were 600 cars. And then Alan, who's been helping me sell some, and we've sold about a month ago about 35, and I have some other ones, but still waiting for some to be picked up. But, my goal is now to eliminate the boneyard, because all those I need. There's a few I want to keep,
Yeah.
but I've got that big storage building over there. Everything I'm keeping, I want to have in that building. So there's nothing outside. With all those cars out there, I'd rather somebody else have them for parts or restoration or something than just sit there. I don't need them. So my website is ramblerranch.com if you'd like to come visit. We're open weekends 10 to 2 through the end of September, and we do private tours all year, just with a phone call. Thank you very much.